What's going on, guys? The Jeffrey Epstein Files is the latest political saga that's been rampant, either social media or in the government. There are a couple of things we have to actually need to understand with regard to that. Now, before we get into this, we need to discuss about the House Oversight Committee that just declassified a trove of emails related to Jeffrey Epstein. And many of these emails did, in fact, talk about Donald Trump and other influential individuals in the government, either present and past. But when it comes to Trump himself, there's not much incriminating evidence whatsoever that would unequivocally implicate Donald J. Trump to all of its Jeffrey Epstein's illegal activities going on either one of those islands or here in the United States of America. But there are some other guys, some other powerful, influential individuals, high figures that were in fact involved in certain activities. Now, if people are unequivocally serious about bringing justice, and I think it should start with other influential individuals. And I think that's the reason that this whole thing is a symbolic. And the reason for that is rather than focusing on Donald J. Trump, our commander-in-chief, the president of the United States, what about these other individuals? The former president, Bill Clinton, somehow was involved. And I think Bill Gates has something to do with that. Though I'm not going to implicate much Bill Gates. But you have the prince in England was involved. Go after these individuals first before we come after Donald J. Trump, because this is a whole political drama. And the point is, perhaps what the Democrats are seeking is to overflow the Trump administration. They want to bring dirt, they want to disparage, repeal, and replace. That's all the end game is. But unfortunately, hopefully they don't get to that point because essentially they're just wasting their time. Now, let's get back to the emails that were exchanged between Jeffrey Epstein's and other influential individuals. And in that case, it is a New York Times journalist that was receiving these emails. Well, the reason why it matters is because it is eye-popping, but still not incriminating evidence whatsoever yet. Now, what happens is, I believe Jeffrey himself promised to release photograph of Donald J. Trump in the kitchen with girls. This kind of odd, but maybe the House Oversight Committee does have that the latest on that discussions, or maybe they haven't released it yet. But this is kind of odd. Now, if they decided to go forward and releasing the entire documents, the entire files, disclosing it to the public, maybe we will know whether Trump has something to do with that thing. But the point is, this is so far what came out of the email, the most incriminating evidence. The second one actually occurred about Jeffrey Epstein having a discussion with his madame, Maxwell Jesslyn, her name is. And it says that the only dog that hasn't been barked yet is actually Donald J. Trump. There's not much context. We don't know where to go with that story. That's all being said. We just don't know anything about it. Now, again, the entire files is being withheld from the public. We don't know what is on that files, but we would like it to be disclosed. But simultaneously, I wanted to mention that the American people, if we're all sitting out here pretending that we have nothing else to do, just waiting for the release of those files, we're wasting our time. This country is in a dire situation. And I think the President of the United States should focus, and anyone in Congress, focus about delivering to the American people. That is the mandate, not focusing on the past. And if you truly care about the past, all the other guys that had been indulged in illegal activities, they must be brought to justice. They must be held accountable. But there are a few names out there that have never been held accountable. So why do we care so much about Donald J. Trump unless we're making a complete fool out of ourselves? So that's the message I wanted to bring to you guys' attention. Hopefully you enjoyed this message. And of course, we will be looking forward to hear the latest on the Jeffrey Epstein files. But at the end of the day, it is not a situation that we need to be so hysterical and take it too personal, because it does not necessarily matter, and it's not delivering to the American people. Thank you.